Have you ever jumped into a big mod pack and not known where to start? There's just so much to do. Well, I sure have, and that's what we're doing here in this Valhelsia 3 world. We're doing a survival guide to Valhelsia 3. This is episode 2. My name is Jangro, and we are running through the Valhelsia 3 mod pack. So let's get right to it. Last episode, we found this place to live. There's a village. Next, there's no way around it. We need to just get resources. We're going to dig into a bunch of the mods in Valhelsia 3, but we can't do that without tools and resources. So what we're going to do is talk about what are the best tools. So let's start by cleaning up a little bit, making some room for ourselves. We kind of started our crafting setup down there on the beach. We have a bunch of food thanks to this supply camp. We should probably get some of that cooking. We do have our stew left over, but we should get some of this food cooking. And if we're going to plan ahead just a little bit, we should probably get a crop or two going. There's a couple of great crops to start out with early on. One is aubergine, which is French for eggplant. And cooked aubergine is a really good source of food. And we're going to want to get some hemp growing. Set up a really simple farm. So here's the Druidcraft hemp seeds. I like those better than the industrial engineering hemp, because you can't right click, pick, and replant. So there's our aubergine crops, and over here we'll grow some hemp. That's going to be important for string. Next thing we're going to need to do is we're just going to have to head down and do some mining. To support us getting through as many mods as we can as quickly as possible, we need resources. And there's no avoiding that. And so what I want to start with is Tetra. Tetra is a kind of a mysterious mod. It really deviates from the traditional Minecraft tools. You know, make a tool, use it, fix it on an anvil, enchant it on an enchanting table. It brings this whole new modular leveling dynamic to Minecraft, which is really great. And part of it is that as you use tools, they level up. So I want to get some Tetra tools going right off the bat, so that everything we do is working toward getting our Tetra tools upgraded. So we need a second crafting table. Let's set up our Tetra setup kind of over here, because we're going to need to have a little spot where we'll put it right here. We're going to have our tools on a rack and that sort of thing. So we start with a crafting table, and then you build a hammer, which is a Tetra tool. But we'll start with a wooden hammer, and we actually are going to need two of them because we need to upgrade the hammer. And in order to upgrade the hammer, you need another hammer. So we got two hammers. And now, because we created that hammer, we now have a holosphere. And the holosphere is the in-game manual. It tells you everything you can craft: bows, tool belts, single-headed, double-headed blades, crossbows. Gives you a list of all the materials. So there's a whole lot here. Let's go to sleep. Even though I don't want to waste the night, I do not want to get in a fight. Here we are in day 4. And so the holosphere is going to help us out a lot when we are trying to decide what materials we want to use for our tools. So we want a rack, and see why in a second here. We just need one for now. And we put that right up here on the wall. And now, you see, we got an advancement within reach. We can put our hammers and tools on these racks, and then they're automatically available to use in our Tetra workbench. So to make the Tetra crafting table or workbench, we just take this hammer we made and right click on a crafting table. And now we have a bench. And now when we right click on that, we've got this Tetra interface. And if we put a hammer in here, we can upgrade it by setting the heads to other things. And we can configure left and right heads, and the handle and the binding. So we can upgrade this hammer using stone or even iron. And we're going to need to level up our hammers. You can see our hammer right now is a level 1 tier hammer. And we can't do very much with that, so we need to upgrade it. If we click on this and then click on the hammerhead, it tells us in our inventory what we can use for this hammerhead. See the little lines around it, and put that in here. This will make it level 2, and it shows you in green and red what's changing for better and worse. And now this hammer is going to be level 2, but I need another level 2 hammer to make this. So I'm going to need to get to a stone hammer before I can upgrade this hammer. Well, first we're going to need some stone. So let's go down in our hole here. And our supply camp made a bit of a mess. So let's fix that. Fix that with some dirt. You see it made this pond right here and left the bottom open because we built it right over a cave. Okay, that should clean that up. Now we can make some stone tools. And we can upgrade these by changing with Tetra to change what material is used for the heads. So take a shovel and we'll make an axe. We don't have enough stone to make an axe. And let's get all the tools. Sword. Okay, so now if we go over here with our hammer, if we put an axe in here, we can improve it and turn it into a Tetra tool by, for example, upgrading the handle. And now we have a Tetra stone axe, and you can see if we hold shift on it, it's now got a stone axe, stone butt, and a flimsy handle. And you can see this hone is the leveling up is called honing. And as we use it, our axe will gain experience, and then we can upgrade it and give it some improvements. We'll also be upgrading the materials used on them, and they'll just improve as we go. So let's upgrade the handle on this one as well. Let's do our shovel too. A light handle allows us to throw this tool. It sacrifices some endurance or durability. A long handle gives us more reach. So let's just go with a basic handle, and the swords have a ton of functionality to them. So they've got guards and pommels and different types of stone blades. If you look at the blade, there's all kinds of different blades: heavy blade, basic blade. Okay, so now if we upgrade our hammer to make both sides stone, hammerhead, stone. And now you see it becomes a level 2 hammer. And what else we need is a blade, a higher level blade. So we make this. So now we can make a level 2 item because we have this level 2 hammer in our inventory, or if it was up on a rack. So we'll get this to do things with leather. Just right click, and now it's available for crafting. If we take this hammer down and put the other hammer up here, now we have a level 2 hammer up here. If we make another rack, we can put our other hammer up here. Okay, so that's getting started with Tetra. Upgrade the hammers, get yourself a short sword, which is easier to get up to a higher level more easily, which allows us to craft things. Let's head down into the mines rather than going to sleep and just spend the night getting some resources. Yeah, we need obviously iron. We need as much of this osmium as we can find. We need to light this up a bit. Let's get some coal, make some torches. So we're going to gather as much ore as we can. We want to get as quickly as we can to ore doubling. So we don't want to over smelt this ore that we get. We just want to smelt as much as we need because we'll pretty quickly be able to double it. And we can quickly see, again, there are all kinds of videos for mechanism that you can see, like cookbook how to do things, but I like to just use JEI. Look at how to make an iron ingot, for example. Obviously, smelting is how you get there. But there are all these other different types of things. So we can get to iron dust in an enrichment chamber. An iron ore makes 2 iron dust. And an iron dust smelted or blasted, 1 iron dust gives you an ingot. So you can, just with an enrichment chamber in mechanism, you can double ore, which requires we need steel to get there. And steel you make with mechanism by putting iron, you smelt iron and run it through a process that gives you steel. So we want to find as much iron and osmium as we can. Osmium is used in a lot of components as we use mechanism. There are other ways to double ore, triple ore. Um, mechanism is probably the most streamlined and fastest way. The immersive engineering crusher doubles ores when you crush them, gives you dust in the same recipe. So now you can see our pickaxe is getting pretty low. And normally we'd have to worry about that just breaking and disappearing, but it will not. Hear that? So it's broken, but it's not gone. So now we just got to go fix it. Tetra workbench and put our broken pickaxe in here. We click repair, and it tells you what material it needs to repair it. There's a repair cycle. So it needs stone and then wood, stick. So one of the repairs for this is going to be a stick. So if we put this in here, it's going to need 2 cobblestones and a tier 1 hammer to fix it. Easy. And now it's fixed. So that's where Tetra really saves a lot of time and resources, just repairing tools as we get started. As we get underground, you can see in the mini map, it shows you all of the caves and stuff as you're digging down. So it's actually safe to dig down, safer, straight down, because it tells you when there's lava. You can see up in the upper right corner of my mini map, there's a little spot of lava, but there's no lava right below me. There are caves though, so I could drop into a cave. It's hard to tell, obviously, the height of openings. We've got a massive cave beneath us. So the good news, lots of ores exposed. Oh, and that right there is a mimic chest, and they're pretty tough. Definitely don't want to fight them with no armor, without a good weapon. It's possible to get them kind of stuck in a spot and you can kill them, but they jump around, they're fast, and they pack a good punch, or bite, as the case may be. So we'll take that one on after we get some good armor. Okay, it's daylight. Let's go upgrade to get ourselves some iron. So now we have 2 iron. We can upgrade our pickaxe and upgrade each head. Needs 2 iron to upgrade that head. And you can see it here. Now our pickaxe is half iron, half stone. Now we have an iron pickaxe. It's got a flimsy handle. It's 81% toward honing. So we didn't lose that because that's a handle attribute. So let's take that. Let's upgrade our axe while we're at it. Turn our axe head into iron, the butt into iron. Now we have an iron axe and our shovel. Okay, now we have our tools upgraded. Let's head down and see what we're dealing with here. Looking at our map, the mini map, it looks like the cave is pretty narrow right there. So we can just head over here and let's just head down. Okay, now you can see that a module has settled. What that means in Tetra is that, so in Tetra, tools have limited capacity, and each upgrade that you make uses up some of that capacity, and some materials can settle, which means it frees up that capacity slot again. So you can upgrade it further. We'll see that when we get back to the tool bench. It's a really cool mod. So you see my pickaxe now has honing available. So I'm going to want to go back and upgrade it. Oh, look below us now on the map. Okay, over there we can see that's probably a monster box, which is a spawner that it blows up and just works one time and dumps a bunch of mods out. That is probably a trapped chest. that stalagmite that spawned there exposed the TNT. Lucky for us. Okay, we're going to want to head down there as soon as we possibly can. Oh, look. Another monster box, another chest. That, again, that chest right there is probably a mimic. So there's some good loot in those chests. We should go upgrade our axe because it's going to give us an efficiency bonus. But it is going to break soon, so we'll just power through this. So we're getting close to that wall. Okay, let's head down now. This is copper. We need copper in mechanism to make. There's one thing that we needed for specifically pretty early. We definitely want all this osmium. Osmium kind of becomes kind of the gating ore. It's tougher to find than a lot of the other ones. I sometimes have an easier time finding diamond than I do osmium. There's some gabbro from the create mod, which is a pretty cool building block. All right, now we're down on level 30. We got the spelunking achievement and our pickaxe broke. Okay, now we can see this cave. There's a mining helmet on that. There's a chance that they'll drop it. We can pick it up. We want a bow as quickly as we can. All those smokestacks are those chests and things that we saw. Okay, let's head up and upgrade our pickaxe again. All right, let's sleep. Okay, pickaxe repair. So here's how we repair. We click the repair button. It tells us we just need sticks to repair this time. And it's fully repaired. No iron needed. So that's pretty neat. So generally I delay smelting ores. As soon as we have doubling, we'll regret any extra ores that we smelted. We're going to clean up our mine, just rushing for as much iron and osmium as we can get. Obviously we want diamonds, so let's just get ourselves down to level 11. You can see already the benefit of Tetra. At some point, Tetra tools get pretty powerful, and if you combine the right materials, you can really have some very powerful stuff. Once you get into Eidolon, Soul Enchanter, you can't stack enchantments on Tetra tools with Eidolon, but you can apply books that you make with the Eidolon Soul Enchanter to Tetra tools in the Tetra workbench. So you can stack enchantments in Tetra tools, but you cannot do it on the Soul Enchanter. So our iron pick modules have settled. So at some point there's kind of a point where you deviate and maybe give up on your Tetra tools, but I think if you do it right, you probably can't do much better than the Tetra tools that are upgraded. Okay, that right there is a geode, and we want geodes and they just spawn around the world. They drop, and you break them open on Tetra workbench, and they give you gems, sometimes nuggets, things like that. A special thing you can get from it is a pristine gem, which you can put in the pommel of a sword, and it gives it pretty good buff. Quicksilver. So there's a whole nother thing to talk about. Armor. There's so many different metals, and you can make some really cool armors. Like so, amethyst, for example. If you make an armor out of amethyst, you get luck and serendipity buffs. That Quicksilver armor, they're all pretty well comparable to iron, damage-wise, armor-wise, but Quicksilver gives you speed. You definitely don't want to just stick with the vanilla metals for armor. When we get steel makes a nice tough armor. So here is some amethyst. And when we are ready to make armor with that, which is kind of my favorite armor because it gives you luck, so it's like having fortune. I'm just kind of digging around this lava pool. There's a cave in that direction. Oh, there's a cave up here. Okay, that is... This stripped oak log means, yep, that there's a dungeon up there. And that was the dungeon that we saw earlier on the map, probably. Well, we can come back to that. So you can see over on the map, that kind of brown area, that is where those long columns came down to. Okay, we're going to sleep this night away. fix our pickaxe. But here, if we click on the head, we've got honing available, and we can, mining efficiency is the obvious thing we want on this. We can also wrap the handle with materials, and it gives speed and damage to things. So there's some more upgrades we can make for sure. Let's look at this geode. So if we put the geode on here, we can break it. We need a tier 2 hammer, which they're hanging on the racks nearby. You can put them in a 3x3 area. We just break it open. And wow, we got a pristine diamond, which, like I was talking about, let's grab this sword and take a look at this. So we put the sword on here. We can, the socket on the stone guard is where we can put this gem. If we add that gem, you can see up top it gives us all kinds of buffs, durability, damage. So what it also does is it adds this pristine diamond into the repair cycle. So when it needs to be repaired, and when you get to that, we need another pristine diamond. Now, we got really lucky. In my experience, they're generally not that easy to find. But we will tuck that away for now. We can tuck the holosphere away too. So once we start building a nice sword, we'll put that on the pommel. Definitely makes a difference. Let's find ourselves a good mine shaft. So now we've got more efficiency on our pickaxe, so it's going to be a little faster. We're mostly looking for diamonds and iron. There's another geode. Later on in Tetra, so we're going to be able to upgrade things on our Tetra workbench up until I think level 4 hammers. But there's level 5 and 6 that you can only get by using a special device that you can find in a Tetra structure. And they're all over the place in mountain biomes, cold areas. They're really cool. So we'll be heading there later in the game to get later upgrades on our Tetra stuff. Okay, straight ahead, I see something interesting. I don't know if that's a structure or a cave. It's looking kind of structure-ish. Oh boy. Okay. Maybe not. Is he coming in? Yep. That was the wimpy way to fight, but I have no armor. There's some diamonds. Okay, let's get our first diamond. We want to make sure we're not over lava. All these things are needed for building these machines in mechanism. The first thing we're going to want to do, and nice, another geode. The first thing we're going to need to do with mechanism is build power generation. And early on, power generation is pretty easy. The more machines you build, obviously you need more power, and there's a progression. So you can get pretty far with some basic power generators. I like to make a bank of like 5 or 6 power generators that work on lava passively, just surrounded by lava. And that's a good foundation for power and mechanism. And then you can add some solar panels, but you really want to get into gas burning generators, they're called, as quickly as possible. Get this osmium. I cannot stress enough how bad you're going to want as much osmium as you can get. Definitely go out of my way to get it. Okay, that's starting to look more just like a big cave over there, but let's see if we can get there before our pickaxe breaks, which I don't think we can. So that's the, this is the game. Just go until your pickaxe breaks and go repair it. See, I can't break things. Okay, pickaxe, repair. This time we need iron. Check and see if we've got, so we can enchant it here with books. So the integrity, this is the thing I was talking about down in the mine, is as you upgrade components, it takes integrity. As some materials settle, so that was the settling we saw, I think it was on the shovel. So until those heads settled, they were taking up integrity spots. We are going to get organized at some point. Let's see what's in these geodes, because that's fun. Yeah, so copper nugget. This is more, it's more like it. And some lapis. That pristine diamond was pretty unique. So I'm going to save my diamonds for other things and not go straight to a diamond pickaxe. And let's make do with this, with the iron tools. And we can upgrade them to steel and other stronger metals as well once we have it. So we're 56% to the honing, which is going to give us efficiency 2. Let's see if we can get to that. Yeah, that's just a big round cave. Okay, we just found a Tetra structure. That's what this was. This would be a probably pretty major distraction right now to dig into that. And it's later game stuff anyway. It's unbreakable. You need like a level 5 or 6 tool to break that. Inside it is things like called a forge hammer and other components that you use to do later game upgrades. So we're just gonna have to work our way around this thing because we cannot break that. This is a huge structure. It goes way up high. It's got boxes in it that you can open with special tools that have like crowbar tools. So this is good to have right here. We'll get into this a little bit later. Let's cut over into this cave and see what's in there. It's pretty well lit up in here. Oh, that right there is a mimic. Okay, I want to get what that mimic has. So if we get close enough, it's going to attack us. If I come running in here and seal this off, we can maybe take it on through the wall. Let's try it. Here he is. We made it. We survived the mimic attack. Is he stuck there? Nope. Yeah, he can get through single holes. Okay, he can't jump up a stair. We got him now. Holy cow. Okay. He dropped digging closet, looks like. No, flippers. Oh, okay, great. We are wearing flippers. Okay, let's go open that other chest. Okay, the other chest. Okay, we've got a leech book. So these ancient tomes, Depth Strider, don't enchant things, but they add to a book. So if you have a Impaling Book or Bane of Arthropods, Sweeping Edge, Unbreaking, you can apply this to the enchanted book and it'll add one to it, and you can kind of get over that kind of max level that regular enchanting books have. Linguist and Withering Stench. While using the enchantment table, you can read the exact enchantments you will receive for an item. That's pretty cool. That might actually make the enchanting table useful before we get a soul enchanter. Okay, this corundum, it's kind of like amethyst in later Minecraft. I think these things will grow more. This stuff down here, oh, right there, fiery glass ore is like coal on steroids. You can make better torches with it, and it is great fuel. All right, it's day 9, 2 in the morning. By the time we get back, it'll be almost daylight. Our flippers. Baby zombies everywhere. Let's try out these flippers. Yeah, we can swim pretty fast with these. So if we just right click on, with any tool, you don't need a special tool for it, it harvests and replants. does not work with industrial hemp. You harvest industrial hemp by chopping the top off. And the regular hemp, which we're just out of space, regular hemp, this Druidcraft hemp, you can right click to harvest. So, okay, so if we put hemp in crafting table, we get string. So we can make bows now. All right, so next we need some buckets. We need several buckets of lava. Might as well just get a bunch for setting up our heat generators, which is the first power in mechanism. So we need iron, osmium, copper, and some planks. Let's go get some lava, set ourselves up for mechanism generators. We did not fix our pickaxe. Okay, we are back on the handle. Nice cheap repair. And we've got a hone, mining efficiency 2. So you can see here when it settles, it provides additional integrity, which is this right here. So before it settled, it used up one of those spots, I think. So it's nice. You just let your Tetra tools like get used up and don't repair them too soon. Okay, we've got all our buckets. I think we got enough copper that we're ready to get started on mechanism. Each furnace needs some 3 iron, 2 copper, and 1 osmium, as well as a furnace. And we're going to need all this lava to power them. We're going to set up a wall of these, which is kind of be the foundation of our mechanism setup. However, I think we're going to do that next time. This seems like a good place to stop. We're about to end day 9. We'll start day 10 in the next episode, and we will make a run at mechanism. We did not get nearly enough iron and osmium to do much, but we'll get it going. We'll get ourselves progressing toward ore doubling, which is going to make things progress much faster once we're doubling ores, and then we'll work toward tripling, as well as setting up smelting, crushers, some cool machines that Mechanism has. So let's stop there. If you're liking the series, please subscribe, hit the like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you think, where we should head, what you'd like to see in this Valhelsia survival guide. Thanks for watching. See you next time.